So I already started filming this video and I'm using my phone. And you know when you're watching TV and like an emergency alert like interrupts the broadcast and there's like this nah, 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 and it's saying alert, alert, blah, 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 there's a tornado coming. That happened on my phone and it scared me, okay? Because last night there was a blackout and it was really scary, and now this thing just happened and I'm like, what's happening? But it was just a test. But I didn't even know that they did that for phones. Like I thought it was only for TV. It freaking scared me. But now I have to restart. Luckily, I was only talking about the first 3 books. So here we go again. Hello, my name is Tabby. This is my channel, Keeping Tabs. And today, crap, now I gotta redo the thumbnail. Whatever, I'll do that later. Anyways, today I am sharing with you guys my used books book haul. Yeah, I like buying used books. It's really helpful on the wallet. Most of these are actually mass market paperback because I have discovered a new love for mass market paperbacks. They are just so adorable and I love them. The first 3 books I have to show you are not used. I just kind of forgot to include them in my new books book haul. So we're going to talk about those 3 first. The first one is The Daughter of the Blood by no, not The Daughter, just Daughter of the Blood by Anne Bishop. I got this because Sarah J. Maas has talked about this book a lot of times, like lots of times, and I am a huge fan of the ACOTAR trilogy. I love that trilogy, hence my tattoo. But yeah, she has mentioned this book a lot, and I've heard from fans of this book and the Throne of Glass / ACOTAR trilogy that there's a lot of similarities between Sarah J. Maas's books and this book, and this is just like a really dark version of what Sarah J. Maas has written, and I'm so down. I love dark themed books. So this is the first one. It's a trilogy, the Black Jewels trilogy. Apparently there's 4, 5, and 6, so it's an extended series, but you can stop at 3. It's like a solid ending. It just kind of continues on afterward. Anyways, that's that. The next 2 books are the first 2 books in the Queens of Renthia series by Sarah Beth Durst. You have Queen of Blood, book 1, and book 2, The Reluctant Queen, and book 3 comes out in June, but I'm probably gonna have to wait a little bit because I want to get mass market, and it's gonna come out in hardback, so I'm gonna have to wait. That's fine. I've read the first book and it's so atmospheric. It takes place in a forest, and if you like treetop, treehouse kind of villages, it's really like that. The trees in here are huge, like whole villages will live in one tree, and there's zip lines, and it's just, the imagery is great. What else? You follow the main character from 9 to 19 as she becomes the queen, and it's just a really, I'm not giving a good explanation about this book, but it's good. And I haven't read the second one yet. I'm waiting a little bit longer because I don't want the wait for the 3rd book to be as brutal, so I don't know when I'm going to read the 3rd book, but the first book is amazing and I recommend it. Okay, now we're actually getting to the used books. I am an urban fantasy person. Back in the day, that's all I would read because of the Mortal Instruments. I would consider that urban fantasy. That's all I would read, but now I'm getting more into young adult fantasy, like Shadow and Bone was the first one that I read that was strictly fantasy, and I'm in love, and I also want to get into high fantasy, like adult fantasy, so I've got some staples, some high fantasy adult staple books here. First series is, of course, The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, and these were actually given to me, so I didn't pay for them, so that's cool. Because I don't think I would actually buy these books, because I've heard they're really descriptive and like hard to get through, but I'm gonna try. So I have the, why don't I even know the title? The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King. I like these 2 covers. They're matte and they're really smooth, and I like it. So I'm gonna try and find these 2 covers. I mean, this book in these 2 covers, because I don't know, these ones are just so much prettier. Like they feel nice. The artwork is really nice. And then this is the 3rd book. It's nice as well, but I'm liking the matte. So I'm gonna try and get the 3rd one in this. I also have The Hobbit, and The Hobbit matches this copy, and then I have the Silmarillion, which matches these copies. So I've got like a hodgepodge mix and match series here, but I want to get these series. So I just have to find The Return of the King and The Hobbit. Although I really like this cover, but yeah, I want this cover. So how many books do I have here? 5 books, and I'm gonna read them all. I haven't heard much about the Silmarillion. I don't even know what this one is about. But yeah. Anyways, I have these, so I don't know when I'm gonna read them. I don't know if I should read The Hobbit first, or if I should just dive into The Lord of the Rings. Let me know if you've read this series how this goes, because I have no idea. Ugh. Speaking of high fantasy, oh no, never mind. I have, actually. This was very random. I was in Shoppers Drug Mart, and they have a book section, but they also had, like, the one Shoppers I was in had this table, and they were just doing, like, a book sale of used books for, like, 50 cents, and I'm gonna wipe my lens real quick. I'm sorry if this is bugging you. I'm sorry, but I gotta do it. Anyways, I found, Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express, but I also found wow, I can't say Agatha Christie's Murder on the Calais Coach, which apparently is a Canadian version. And what's really cool is that this book was published in, like, this specific book was published in my hometown. Wait, is it this one? Yeah, my hometown. And my hometown is this big, so I think that's pretty cool. So I have 2 copies of the same book. I don't know why they're so different lengthwise, and this one is Calais Coach, and this one is Orient Express, but they're the same stories. I don't know the full story on why it's a different title, but there is a reason. I just don't know it. The next book I have, now we're getting back to high fantasy stuff, is A Feast for Crows by George R.R. Martin, and it is the 4th book in the Song of Ice and Fire series, which is a book I'm currently reading. I'm on book 3, so I'm very happy that I found this in used form, I don't know. I love this series. This is an amazing series, and I watched the Game of Thrones TV show. Freaking love it. One of my favorite TV shows ever. If you haven't watched it, I recommend that you watched it. English today? It's not for me. Anyways, I recommend that you watch that show, and if you've watched it and you're like hesitant on reading the books, I recommend that you just do it. It's so much fun. It's like getting the behind the scenes director's cut, never before seen footage. Like, it's so good. And you can also see all of the work that George R.R. Martin put into, like, foreshadowing and all of that stuff. It's just so much fun. It's just so much fun reading through this. There's also so many characters that we don't get to meet, and storylines that are altered, and I think after this book, or in this book, is when it really starts getting different from the TV show, so I'm really excited. Ooh, this pile. Okay. The next 5 books are the first 5 in a series. Again, high fantasy. Sorry, my hair is, like, very weird right now, but we're just gonna let it do whatever it wants. Anyways, it's 5 books in a 14 book long series, and I'm sure you can figure it out after me saying 14 books long. And it is the, what is it called? Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time. First we have The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan, by the way. We have The Great Hunt, The Dragon Reborn, Shadow Rising, and The Fires of Heaven. And I always see these at used bookstores. I don't know if that means they're garbage, because, like, why is everybody getting rid of them? But I also hear a lot about them, and I've heard that, like, if you like Game of Thrones, like, I've seen a lot of videos of people ranking, like, their favorite high fantasy books, and these books, along with Game of Thrones, are always on it, and they're always, like, the top 2. And I'm already in love with Game of Thrones, so hopefully I will like this one as well. It's more of, like, the typical chosen one story, so I'm excited. I hope it's good, because I have 5 of them. But it was buy 4, get 1 free, and they were, like, $1, so, like, whatever. I think I'll like them. I'm very easy to please. The next book I got was still at that Shoppers place. It was such a random find. Anyways, it's Catch Me If You Can by, who's this? Frank W. Abagnale. Abagnale Jr.? Yeah, Frank W. Abagnale Jr. Wow, that's a mouthful. Anyways, this is a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, one of my favorite actors. I actually have, like, a Leonardo DiCaprio book right here. It's open on one of the pages. And I really like this movie, and I didn't know that it was a book. So I have it, and the kicker is it's signed by the author. I don't know if that's real. I googled the author's signature and it looks like this, so I'm thinking it's signed. I don't know. I don't know when I'm actually gonna read this, but I had to pick it up, one, because it's Catch Me If You Can and I love that movie, and then when I saw that it was signed, it was like a done deal. I'm getting it. It was like $2. I also got this one at the Shoppers random book table, and it is To Catch a Pirate. I have no idea what this is about, but this looks like a friggin' 80s novel, and it was published in 2007, and it's a young adult. It's about this girl who, I think her father's ship gets raided by pirates, and then she tries to find something that they stole, and then she falls in love with the pirate, and I'm interested. It sounds cheesy, and I'm down for it, you know? You know when you're just in the mood for that cheese? That Gouda, that cheddar, that Swiss. Sorry. I also have Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. This was 50 cents, so I got it. This is a really pretty edition. I don't know what this edition is called. Penguin. I need to like slow down. I think I talk too fast. That's why I'm jumbling all my words. This is the Penguin Classics Deluxe Edition. I can't do it. Penguin Classics Deluxe Edition. It's beautiful. I've never read this book. I'm not really a classics person, but of all the classics books, you always hear about either Jane Austen or Jane Eyre, and for so long I thought Jane Eyre was an author, and yeah, that shows you how much I know about classics. This is really nice. Maybe I'll read it. Maybe I won't. I don't know, but I have it now. Oh, okay, wait, what do I want to talk about? This book I got for 50 cents, Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen. I really, really like this movie, and I bought this after reading The Night Circus, even though I've already seen this movie, so I know what it's about. But I finished reading The Night Circus, loved The Night Circus, and I wanted another circus-themed book, so I found this, picked it up. I really like this cover. Hopefully I'll like the book as much as I liked the movie, because I really did enjoy that movie. Ooh, there's pictures. I didn't know that. There's pictures. Anyways, yeah. Ooh, are there pictures of the elephants? I hope so. Anyways, ooh, there it is. There's the elephant. Is this real? What is this? Is this like a true story? I don't know. Anyways, nope, it says fiction. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. But, ooh, reader's discussion guide and other special features inside. I like when they do that. Anyways, I have this book. I have had this book, and I haven't even, like, looked at it. It's like I'm looking at it for the first time, looking at all these details. I'm excited. I really enjoyed this movie. It was with Robert... Is his name Robert? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Robert Pattinson? Edward Cullen. And Reese Witherspoon, who I love. I really liked that movie. Speaking of movies, one of my favorite movies is The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and I've always wanted to get this book, so when I saw it in the thrift store, I had to get it. I've heard that the movie is actually better than the book, which is interesting, very interesting, but I thought I would decide that for myself, so I have this book. I'm so excited to read it. I love that movie so much. It's actually so short, and why is it that weird, like, you know those weird, like, square books? What is that? Can't we just have one standard size and shape for a book? Because, like, this doesn't fit with anything that I have. It doesn't. It really doesn't. Like, it fits with... It's the same size as a mass market, but then it's a square. It's a square. Why? Who decided that was what we should do? Anyways. Have I been saying the author's names? Yeah, I think I have. This is Stephen Chbosky. Love the movie. Can't wait to read this. Hopefully I love it. I'm excited. Another movie that I loved as a child was James and the Giant Peach. And I recently discovered, as in a few years ago, that this is a book by Roald Dahl. That's a hard name to say. And I have another Roald Dahl book, and it is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, because I also really, really love that book, that movie as a kid. I am so happy to have this. I freaking love this movie, and I cannot wait to read this. My name is James. Ooh, will they have the songs in here? Is that a song? Ooh, I'm so excited about this. Oh, wait. I'm happy. Have the last book. We're done. We're done, folks. This is the end. I've read this book before, and I have the series. You can't see it. It's up there. It is the Bloodline series by Rochelle Mead. I have I had books 1, 3, and 4, and I didn't have 2 because I read it on my e-reader, and I don't know if you guys have this, but like, if I read something on my e-reader, I'm less inclined to actually pick up the physical book, like buy it. But I saw this at my local thrift store, and I was like, you know what? I might as well get it because I have the others and I want to complete the collection. And I was hesitant on picking it up, but then I opened it and it's signed. It's signed to Anna. I don't know who Anna is, but it's signed, so I got it. My middle name is Tatiana, so that's kind of the same thing, kind of, not really, but it's kind of, doesn't matter. Rochelle Mead, she signed this, and I love the Vampire Diaries. Ooh! Vampire Academy. Wow. Fail. I am so sorry. Why did I say that? I do love that show, though. Haven't read the books. But I love Vampire Academy so much, so I'm so happy to have a signed book by Rochelle Mead. I can't believe I said Vampire Diaries. Like, I'm still so embarrassed about that, and I'm not even going to edit it out because I hate editing. Also, again, I said this in my last book haul, but whenever I turn a book around and see all of the other books and like realize that I have them, it just makes me so happy. I don't know why. It's just, I love it. I love that feeling. But yeah, I think that's all my books. Those are all my books. Those are all my used books. Now I have to put them away on my shelf. Let me know down below if you've read any of these, what your thoughts are. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you with my next video. Bye!